Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Tabasa back with another video. Today we have an entry. I know it's been a while. I've been posting streams and music like crazy, but now we're moving into some entries because I have a couple now. And I'll get into a dream log too eventually. So there's quite a bit of videos where I'm just going to be sitting and talking, so feel free to just put this in the background while you do work or homework or something like that. For that though, I have a drawing that I would like to share with you guys. This one's from August 11th, and it says, I've been here for ages. It is kind of like a robot that's just like strung up by the wires in its arms. Its neck is, super long and crooked. Its face still has a smile on it, but it cannot touch the ground at all. It is floating. And in another video, I think I'll come back to this drawing and talk about it a little bit more on how I'm feeling right now, at least for today. But we're not going to talk about today. We're going to talk about August 11th, 2025. So Friday, I gave my number to the father of the daughter I had previously been friends with in order to get my games back. As of now, they still have not contacted me as to whether or not the daughter still has the games or not, or they have, a date for them to return them to me. And they still don't, and it is like the 20 something. For some reason, this lack of communication is stressing me out and giving me anxiety. I went to bed last night but couldn't fall asleep for roughly 2 hours. Most of that time was spent overthinking how twisted this simple task could become. I just hope that I can get my games back without having to go back there a billion times. Maybe I should have just asked to obtain them more directly when I went there the first time. My only disinterest for that position is that I didn't want to put myself in a situation where I'm in someone's house that I've never been in. To be fair, another option would be to ask the father for him to retrieve them. However, I don't think he'd either find them or care to find them. They may not even be at their house anymore, which they are not. Because I went on a second, like the week after I went there to check in, because I didn't hear anything. I was like, hey, this should be, a quite simple thing to do. And I'll get into that in a second. So, suffice it to say, the absolute most direct way is to contact the daughter. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I've removed her from my contacts in all social media, and I cannot find her again. Therefore, instead of just contacting the main person for this issue, I've had to resort to this roundabout method. I'm not happy about it, but actually there is no but. I just want my stuff back, plain and simple. Yeah, I want my games back. It's the 29th. It's almost been an entire month and I haven't gotten my games back, nor have I gotten word from the father of the daughter. Now, the week after I went for the first time, I went back again because I was like, this should be a one and done thing. And he said that he has not contacted his daughter, which is a little sketch in my opinion. Or not sketch, it's just like concerning, I guess. Because you're telling me that you haven't talked to your daughter in like a week. Like my parents, at least for me, like my parents, they text me maybe like once or twice a week, maybe even more, to see how I'm doing. Or I go home and visit them every week. So for me, I guess it's just a little weird that it's been an entire week and you haven't texted your daughter, or she hasn't texted you back and given you any information. And like, why wouldn't you be like, oh yeah, she told me that, she has the games, but they're at her place, we'll get them back to you or something. Instead, I have to, he said, I'll contact you as soon as I get them, but, I was like, okay, I trust you, but to me, in my head at least, this should be something very simple. Unless if the daughter moved like out of state, but I doubt it. Unless if that's not the case and she did, because I don't know anything about where she is now in life, and it's been a long time. But I guess I just would have liked a little bit more information or a little bit more proactiveness from the other party because I feel like they probably don't want me coming around their house. I don't want to be around their house. I just want to get my games and leave. So, the two games, by the way, are Pokemon Shield and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I almost said Diamond is Unbreakable, which is a JoJo part. My bad. But anyway, the journey, or I guess not journey, the wait still continues for them to get back to me with these games. I did, on a somewhat similar note, since I mentioned Pokemon, I recently picked up my Game Boy and finished Pokemon Emerald, and dear God, the level spike at the end from the Elite Four, the champion, was like so high up there. My party was, for those who are wondering what my party was, they were about, I think my highest was Breloom at level 58, and my starter was Swampert at, I think, also level 58 or level 57. I then had a Exploud that was like level 54 or 56 or something like that. And then I had a Skarmory around level 50 to 52. And then I had a, what was it? Ooh, an Amaranth, I think. No, what's its name? It's one of the fossil Pokemon that's Rock Bug that has the little two arms. It's not Kabutops, obviously, because we're talking about the Hoenn region, Generation 3. I think it is like Armarouth or something like that. He was like level 54, I want to say, or something like that. And then I had a HM Slave, which was a Zigzagoon level 11 that I had a Eviolite on. That way he would never evolve. So basically, my starter, Breloom, and Exploud actually carried the entirety of the Elite Four and most of the champion, mainly because my Exploud could learn Blizzard, which destroyed the Dragon Elite Four. My Breloom obviously was fighting, so could beat the Dark type and the Ice type Elite Four pretty well. And then Swampert did relatively well against Ghost, as well as I think Exploud, yeah, because Exploud could also learn Shadow Ball, so Exploud did a lot of the heavy lifting with Breloom for the most part. So after that, I catched Rayquaza, and then I haven't picked it up since. I tried finding Latios for a second, but then I was like, I completed the game. That was all I wanted to do to finish it. So, what's my rating of Pokemon Emerald? I don't remember myself playing it at all, because the time period from when I was playing it just recently to the last time was probably like a year or two in between. But I will say that I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. I liked the challenge that I had, because most of my Pokemon at the beginning, at least on my first couple of attempts of trying the Elite Four, were not as high leveled. And so it was a good challenge to see, okay, do I remember type charts? Do I remember move sets? Can I recognize patterns? Like what's the first Pokemon that this Elite Four brings out? Stuff like that. It was fun, but it took a long time though. It took way too long, because I was basically just level grinding the entire time so my Pokemon could at least stay alive to go to the champion. But yeah, I would like to wait, or I guess I like to wait. I cannot wait to get my games back, because I haven't seen my Pokemon in that game in a long time. I've forgotten my parties. I know for sure I had like a Gengar and Raichu on my Shield team, I think. And my starter was Rillaboom. But I keep swapping those out because I bought all the DLC, and then I just, have boxes and boxes of legendary Pokemon. I always wanted to get a shiny Noibat so I can turn it into a shiny Noivern. And I've killed over like 1,000 Noiverns, but never found one. Unfortunate. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I want to tackle these other entries. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.